Good morning, everyone. Did you have as much problems with traffic as I did on Vermont? I just say, and I come to work here every day. I've never seen it that bad. But I'm happy that all of these smiling faces are in the room. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Libby Williams. I am project manager with AMP SoCal, which is based out of the USC Center for Economic Development. And we want to say thank you for being at our biannual meeting this year. This is our 4th biannual meeting that we have had since the beginning of AMP SoCal. And we hope that those of you who have attended in the past have found it to be beneficial, and that you have either met someone or made some wonderful network connections with other business owners for opportunities, or you have learned something that you can apply in your own business operations or your organization. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your support. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get the program started. We did start a little bit late because we know that we need to account for a little bit of traffic time. Like I just said, I too was stuck in it this morning. But I'm going to give you a little overview about the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership of Southern California and who we are. And we are based at the USC Price School for Public Policy at the Center for Economic Development. We are a partnership that with the City of Los Angeles Mayor's Office, who together we put in an application to the federal government to become a federally designated manufacturing community. As you see here, this is who AMP SoCal is and what we're all about. We are the 10-county area of Southern California is what we focus on. And our entire mission and goal is to help work and support the aerospace and defense supplier network within Southern California, whatever that might mean, be it workshops, be it trainings, whatever type of assistance they need, because we understand that what other people don't know is that aerospace and defense manufacturing is still #1 right here in Southern California. Nowhere else right here, not Washington, not anywhere back in the South or back in the East. We are, and we want to keep it that way. There are 24 other federally designated manufacturing communities around the country. So we are one of 24. There's about 6 of us who focus on aerospace and defense. The others focus on ship making. There are some on agriculture, on additive manufacturing. But the whole purpose and goal was for the federal government saw a need for supporting the industrial base within manufacturing, and in particular advanced manufacturing, which is why all of these partnerships were created. This is who we are. We are a partnership of universities, of training organizations, technical assistance providers, suppliers, financial institutions, you name it. Who's ever involved with the ecosystem of the aerospace and defense network, that's what we are. And this is the partnership that we have. These are just some of the logos of the different organizations that are named partners with us. And I do want to let you all know, if you are not listed as a partner with us on our website and on our information, it's very easy to do so. All you have to do is go online to our website and fill out the I want to be a partner form, and you will become a partner. It's that simple, because we want to help promote each other. We want you to get involved. We want your assistance in helping to strengthen the A&D supplier network here. These are our main core objectives. It is to increase the number of suppliers and increase, as you can see here, the employment within aerospace and defense, because we know it's been going down over the years, and we know a number of reasons is because of advanced manufacturing and because you can do more with less people. But our goal is still to increase the number of suppliers and their contracts and their work that they have with the OEMs here. It's also to increase their sales. That's bottom line, is to make sure that they're making more money so that they have, their employees are also making money, so that feeds into the local economy. Increase the number of small manufacturers adopting advanced manufacturing technologies. Again, we'll talk a lot about that throughout the meeting today with some of our panelists. And lastly, what I hear every day from all of the suppliers is train the workforce. We know that this is a graying industry, and we know that there's not a lot of interest from the younger generation coming up, but we've got to make it more exciting for them to get involved in STEM, because that's what it's going to take for us to continue to grow and thrive here. This is how we work. So I told you that you can go online, you can become a partner with us, really simple and easy. But how we work is we have 6 different pillars, and we meet on a monthly basis, and it's all just a conference call, no more than an hour, and we talk about the different issues so we can see what can we do and put them into action. Be it, is there a workshop, is there a training, is there a speaker we need to come and bring out? What is it that we need to do in order to help the A&D industry around these 6 pillars? And we invite you to join us in this area. Additional programming. This is the other things that we provide. We have webinars on a monthly basis, and they are only a half an hour long. Sometimes they may go to 40 minutes, and they'll cover everything from workforce, additive manufacturing, exporting, you name it. And we also take suggestions. We'd like to know what else is it you would like for us to offer, because we know that most of you who are suppliers, you can't leave your office. It's much easier if you're able to do an online webinar and get some information. It's not a long 2-hour, but it's a half hour, enough to get you some information and then to know who to talk to and reach out to if you need additional assistance. And we have some great speakers. Some of them are in the room who've actually done webinars for us already. The other things that we have to offer, of course, are our biannual meetings, which we are at right now. And we do these. We're probably going to change the name from biannual to annual. This is the route we're going these days. But our biannual meetings is another way, as well as our innovation forums, of which we've got one coming up that's going to be on exporting to Mexico. I know if you knew that there is a large aerospace industry within Mexico, and they are looking for suppliers, not to relocate. Let's be clear, we don't want you moving, but they are looking for suppliers to contract with, and we're going to assist you in finding out if you're a supplier that they need the services of, and also how to do that with the help of 2 speakers that I will show more information about. But now what I want to do is I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Without them, we could not be here and we could not put this on. Our funding, in case I did not share with you, comes from the Department of Defense Office of Economic Adjustment. And if anybody's ever had federal funding, you know that federal dollars do not pay for food. Therefore, this wonderful program is being offset by the wonderful sponsors you see around the room. And I want to make sure that you take the time while you're here today to go and talk to them, because they all have some type of service that they have to offer to you that might be of assistance to you at some point in time. So we want to thank our wonderful sponsors, the LA Department of Water and Power, the City of Paris, CMS, who's got 2 tables in the back of the room. We're so happy to have them here as our first-time sponsors. Elsevier, who were here last year as well. March JPA, who has space if you are looking to relocate or to expand your company out in the Inland Empire. Check out March JPA. Northrop Grumman. It's got 2 reps from their Small Business Liaison Office who are here. I want to make sure that you also go and visit them, especially if you don't already have work with them. CMTC is here, and they offer assistance at whatever you might need as far as manufacturers. Cytelix, if you are in need of cybersecurity assistance, Cytelix right there in the corner is who you need to talk to. And Goodwill Southern California, they have some wonderful workforce training programs specifically targeted at aerospace and defense that you're going to learn more about during the workforce panel. And CSU Northridge, who is here. I love CSU Northridge. They are one of our most consistent partners, yay, in the back of the room. And they have some excellent programs that they are focused on aerospace as well. Tooling USME. Where is Patricia? Somewhere back there in the room. Tooling U is the workforce training arm of SME. SME are the ones who put on the AeroDef shows, the West Tech show. They have been an excellent partner. We could not have asked for someone more giving and generous and allowing us to come into their conference space every year as well. And Make It. Right in the corner, this is a brand new startup who's got some wonderful machining that I think you might want to check out as well. Definitely go see Shelley in the back. And AeroDef, I just talked about, goodness gracious. And of course, we've got USC, Center for Advanced Manufacturing. They're part of the USC Department of Engineering, and we have an off-site location where we invite small businesses to utilize their resources. They've got everything over there. They've got 3D printers, they've got robotics, and they invite companies to come in to learn training on hand, and also if you're looking to do a prototype, you don't have the equipment, you want to test it out, go to USC Center for Advanced Manufacturing. They too have a table here with information. And then last but not least, I think I've got my uniquely able, I can't forget my Ivan Rosenberg, who has a wonderful program that we heard about last year's conference that works with uniquely abled individuals and gets them trained and employed within the industry. And they have a 90% employment rate right now. So we'll learn more about that too from Joel Morgan from Goodwill. And this is what I want to share with you. You also have a flyer on this in your folder, but we've got, again, an upcoming forum on exporting to Mexico, which for those of you who haven't thought about it, aren't really sure if it's for you, think about it, about expanding your customer base and looking overseas, because there is a wonderful partnership to be made with Mexico. And we have that program is going to be held at the USC Orange County Center campus in Irvine on October 16th. And this one is both an in-person as well as an online program. So if you can't make it in person, you can surely join us for the webinar. I have to thank our staff and our team. We're a small team at the Center for Economic Development. There's only 7 of us that are full-time, but we could not do this without the students that we have working with us, which are our research associates. Some of them probably drove you if you took the little shuttle on the golf carts, or they registered you when you first came in, or our wonderful Frank right here, who is probably I'm gonna stress him out with the AV. I just want to take note of and say thank you to our research associates and say that we could not do it without them. The rest of our team will introduce as we go on throughout the morning. And I just want to say thank you again for being here. Also, all of the wonderful little centerpieces, those are there for the taking. I know they always walk away anyway, which is the purpose for them. So I know I don't have to say anything because you're already eyeing them for your kids or your grandkids or your neighbor, which is fine. We just want to have something that was reflective of what we're here to talk about today.
Good morning and welcome to USC and welcome to the Price School. I know you're not here to listen to me, so I'm going to keep this very brief. So I just want to thank you for being here. And I just want to say that we are very proud that one of our Price School centers, the Center for Economic Development, is the leader for AMP SoCal and organizes events such as this. And the reason I'm proud is that when I look at the 13 research centers we have at the Price School, one of the criteria I think about judging whether we're doing good research or not is saying, are we having an impact in the real world? Our mission is to improve the quality of life of people in our communities. So one of the things I'm always asking is this just ivory tower research, or are we doing something which is really making an impact right now? And CED always stands out as the center, that what better way to make impact than to keep manufacturing jobs in California? So I want to congratulate CED for their leadership here. The other kind of remark I want to make about the meeting is, like, I grew up in India in the 1980s, and the economics that was taught to me was influenced by the Soviet era. And so we talked about how it was important to protect our industries from global influences, how these industries were infants and needed government support and so on. And as a result, what happened was India had a very protectionist economic policy as well as trade policy. And during that era, India hardly grew. The GDP grew at 1 or 2%. When I had to go buy a car, I had to wait 6 months, and the car's technology was 20 years old. And I feel now like some of the same conversation. I thought I left India and I left all of that behind. But I feel now some of that same conversation is coming to the US, that where we need to protect our old industries. And what I like about this meeting is we are focused on the future. We are looking at tomorrow's opportunities and trying to see how can we build capacity here so that we can compete on the global stage. And I think that's the right way forward. So I'm happy that we're playing a small part in that. So welcome, and you're in great hands with Deepak, who's going to come and welcome you next. Thank you.
Good morning. How are you guys doing? Fantastic. So on behalf of the USC Center for Economic Development, let me welcome our esteemed faculty, Dr. Banerjee, Dr. Sood, we have Dr. Newman here from Viterbi, industry and government partners, and friends to the 4th AMP SoCal Bi-Annual meeting. We are extremely grateful to the Office of Economic Adjustment, Department of Defense, for sponsoring this meeting. Today, I would like to do 2 things. First, I would like to share with you DoD priorities and how our work ties into them. I would like to highlight our work with AMP SoCal partners and key outcomes. Second, I intend to discuss recent trends in the aerospace and defense sector. The foundation on which the DoD sets its priorities and aligns its resources is the National Defense Strategy. The defense strategy outlines how rapid technological advances and the changing character of war are affecting our security environment. Our security environment and that of our allies is threatened by state and non-state actors, terrorists, transnational criminal organizations, and cyber hackers with increasingly sophisticated capabilities and means for mass disruption. A long-term strategic approach is required, and I'm bringing this from the National Defense Strategy, that seamlessly integrates multiple elements of national power, and that is diplomacy, information, economics, finance, intelligence, law enforcement, and military to challenge our competitors where we possess advantages and they lack strength. Secretary Mattis has expressed three overarching priorities. Number one, rebuild military readiness as we build a more lethal joint force. Number two, strengthen alliances as we attract new partners. And number three, reform the department's business practices for greater performance and affordability. The strategy outlines two other areas relevant to our conversation here, and that they are, number one, DoD will invest in cyber defense, resilience, and the continued integration of cyber capabilities in the full spectrum of military operations. Number two, DoD will continue to explore streamlined, non-traditional pathways to bring critical skills into service, expanding access to outside expertise, and devise new public-private partnerships to work with small companies, startups, and universities. The OEA Industry Resilience Program supports the Secretary's priorities and the National Defense Strategy. OEA, the funding agency for us, is the enabler. It is the only DoD source of technical and financial resources for civilian efforts to help strengthen the economic and cyber resiliency of their supply chains, advancing warfighting, lethality, and capabilities, what they talk about, be ready for the fight. OEA also helps to maintain the effective delivery of goods and services for our installations and warfighters. Let me share now with you how our efforts tie into this strategy. Cybersecurity training. In partnership with Northrop Grumman and USC Viterbi School of Engineering, we have conducted cybersecurity workshops. Last year, we provided cybersecurity training to 42 small businesses, of which 35 were negatively defense impacted. This year, 28 organizations participated in the cybersecurity training. We are extremely grateful to Dr. Cliff Newman at Viterbi and Vicky Harper Hall at Northrop Grumman for their leadership. This training is part of the Strengthening Competitiveness program that matches university expertise to provide solutions to businesses. Please talk with Tomas Duran in the back, he's somewhere here, to know more about this project. Number two, growth acceleration. CMTC, a NIST manufacturing extension partnership, and an AMP SoCal partner has assisted 23 small and medium-sized manufacturers develop and implement growth plans, resulting in 319 jobs that have been retained, 130 that are projected to be added in the next year, and a cost savings of nearly $2.5 million. The Managed Career Pipeline Project, USC collaborated with Cerritos College, Mira Costa College, and West LA to train unemployed and underemployed and other eligible candidates for entry-level jobs. Areas of focus include pre-engineering apprenticeship program, an entry-level welding technician course, and an employment pathway that offers advanced manufacturing training. I would recommend you have a chat with Bel Gomez, alum of our school, about this project. She's here. Red carpet service. AMP SoCal provides a free red carpet service. This program is designed to grow, attract, and retain aerospace companies and investments in the LA region. AMP SoCal has participated with LAEDC and CMTC at industry conferences, including Aerodef and Space Tech Expo, to provide visibility and strengthen the Southern California aerospace and defense ecosystem. Storyboard Maps. AMP SoCal has developed online storyboard maps, a series of interactive maps that provide a comprehensive wealth of demographic, socioeconomic, supply chain, defense spending, transportation network, and hub zone information, allowing people to view Southern California economic geography in a uniquely engaging and dynamic way. I would recommend you talk with Pedro Ruiz to know more about spatially representing data and analyzing aerospace and defense trends. One of the more noteworthy initiatives from our partners that was previously showcased in our last AMP SoCal meeting is the Uniquely Abled project. Ivan Rosenberg, he's here, Executive Council member at AMP SoCal, is the founder and president of the Uniquely Abled project. The program prepares individuals on the autism spectrum for career and job opportunities through computer numerical training, CNC training. The program is currently being taught at the College of the Canyons and Glendale Community College. Students learn to program and operate CNC machines, combined with using quality control instruments, shop mathematics, and blueprint reading. 37 participants have graduated through this training program, and 90% of them have been placed. That is remarkable. Events related to AMP SoCal are published on the AMP SoCal website, disseminated through social media and newsletters. Please chat with Libby Williams regarding upcoming events and Emily Sylvester to get on our social media calendar and platform. So, the synergies created by the AMP SoCal Collaborative have been successful in achieving the following outcomes, and they are presented here. I must say, the numbers that are listed here, they are self-reported by organizations. So, we did not do an economic impact analysis, but Dion, who is talking with partners throughout the year, gathers information from them, and we are reporting that on a regular basis. And she plays a stellar role. Let me pivot now quickly and talk briefly about trends in aerospace and defense. So with respect to commercial aviation, the economic outlook for the global A&D industry is strong. According to 2018 Deloitte forecast, industry revenues are expected to grow by 4.1% compared to 2.1% in 2017. New aircrafts such as the Airbus A350XWB and the Boeing 737 MAX are being introduced in response to the growing demand from middle class and emerging economies. To accommodate the increasing passenger volumes, aircraft fleets are being expanded and replaced. This positive outlook has been sustained by stability in crude oil prices and continued recovery in global GDP growth. So commercial aircraft sector revenues are expected to grow, where the backlog is at an all-time high of 14,000 units. That represents nearly 10 years of current annual production rate. Obviously then, the supply chain is under pressure to meet this increased production schedule or the demand. What is imperative then is the need for a steady pipeline of skilled workers and advanced technologies to remain competitive. On the defense side, global defense spending is likely to grow as security threats continue to rise and global tensions continue to persist. The US administration has focused on modernizing the armed forces and strengthening the military base, as reflected in increased defense spending. The US budget, defense budget, fiscal year 2016 onwards, has continued to increase and has reached a 10-year high. We have the most recent data by state for fiscal year 2016 from Office of Economic Adjustment. Let me see if I can move this forward. In fiscal year 2016, DoD spent nearly $378 billion on contracts and payroll in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. California is an unquestionable leader, right? With all the state of, all the best companies, state of infrastructure, educational institutions, and so on. In terms of defense spending, California received $48.8 billion, number one in the nation, number one recipient in the nation. This accounts for 12.9% of the total US defense spending. California is also the number one recipient of defense contracts and number two on funding spent on personnel in the nation. All right, very quickly, space, the final frontier, all right? Space industry is going through a major transformation. Private sector companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, Orbital ATK, now Northrop Grumman, are playing a prominent role. SpaceX has reduced launch costs by up to 77%. According to Accenture, 2,400 low Earth orbit constellations or nanosatellites are set to launch by 2023. The administration has also announced plans to launch Space Force, sixth branch of the US military, by 2020. According to Air Force estimates, Space Force could have 13,000 employees and cost nearly $13 billion over the next 5 years. The other major opportunity is drones. Commercial drones or unmanned aerial systems have seen phenomenal growth, and the value of drone activity has increased from $40 million in 2012 to about $1 billion by 2017. According to McKinsey, UAS startups, nearly 300 of them, from OEMs to navigation and data management companies, have attracted more than $3 billion in funding to explore new applications, industries, and geographies. By 2026, the value of commercial drone manufacturing and service activity is expected to range anywhere from $6 billion to $20 billion. The markets in general are vibrant, and we are seeing industry consolidation and increase in mergers and acquisition activity. M&A deal value in 2017 was 2.5 times that of the previous year. Suppliers are consolidating to achieve synergies, cost efficiencies, and scale, especially in light of increased pricing pressures from the OEMs. An example is the $30 billion acquisition of avionics and interiors maker Rockwell Collins by United Technologies Corporation. Another example is the acquisition of Orbital ATK, a space launch defense contractor, by Northrop Grumman. A&D businesses are undergoing a disruptive process of transformation that accompanies innovation as new processes and products are emerging, resulting from insurgent competitors and breakneck technological change. According to Accenture, to succeed in this hyper-competitive environment, 70% of A&D executives are planning to adopt new and emerging technologies in a period of 2 years or less. A diverse palette of technologies is being explored, with over 50% saying that they have invested in artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, augmented reality, virtual reality, robotics, and drones. Ladies and gentlemen, I can keep going on and on, but I'm going to put this to a stop. We have an exciting lineup of speakers, so I suggest stay tuned, network, and we also have a fantastic lunch. So you enjoy the lunch as well. Let me wrap up by thanking our team, our partners, our small team, as Libby pointed out, for their strong contributions. I'm very grateful to Dion Jackson, Libby, Thomas, Emily, Pedro, Crystal, Abella, Frank, Jonathan, Kaishu, and Noah. Thank you so much.